Hey guys, I'm here to talk about circumcision. So, when my first son, was born in 2010, me and my fiance during pregnancy did not even speak about circumcision. I did not know what circumcision was. I had no idea that they cut off a part of a boy's penis. My fiance never once brought up circumcision during the entire pregnancy. So when I had my son, he was born with an extreme amount of fluid in his testicles, which happens to be normal during birth for most boys, since there's so many hormones. There's a lot of fluid in the balls, which is totally fine. But at the time, I didn't know that. So when my son was born, the doctors and the nurses were totally baffled at the fact that my son had so much fluid in his testicles, and he also had a fatty pocket. So because of those two things, it essentially looked like his penis was very, very small. And they were doing all kinds of weird shit to his penis, like measuring it with tape, because they were concerned that it wasn't the correct size for his gestational age, which I thought was really weird because it was a baby penis. But I was totally mortified as a first-time mom as to what they were doing to him. And after they determined that his penis was actually fine, they brought him over to me and they said, "We're not going to circumcise your son." And I said, "You're not going to do what?" And they said, "Well, circumcision is when you remove the foreskin, so you essentially cut a part of it off," in layman's terms. And I was totally mortified at the fact that they even wanted to do that to my child. So I was very relieved when they were like, "Oh, we're not going to do that. If we were to circumcise him because of the fatty pocket and the fluid in his balls, he would essentially have an entrapped penis." Okay, fine with me. So I later come to find out that my fiance is actually upset that he was circumcised as an infant without his consent. He wishes he had not been, which is why he never brought it up during pregnancy, because he thought that I would want to. But to be honest with you, I didn't even know that that was a thing. In school, they taught me that, well, in school, they didn't teach me anything about the foreskin. They depicted pictures of a circumcised penis and taught us about that. So I didn't know. All the men that I had been with were circumcised. So I was never introduced to a foreskin or a normal penis, if you will. And at that point, I was told to go have a follow-up with the head urologist of Pittsburgh Children's Hospital. And they said from there they would discuss the options that were available, which I thought was weird because I didn't want to do it anyway. But I appeased them and I took him to the urologist because I wanted to make sure that everything was fine with his genitals. So during my appointment with the urologist, it was actually an eye-opener. I took him in. He was 6 months old. He was a very chunky baby. And the urologist says to me, "Well, I wouldn't recommend circumcising him anyways because, for one, it's unnecessary. It's just a cosmetic procedure. And for two, he is too big for the board that we strap them into. He would have to be sedated under general anesthesia." And I'm like, board that you strap them into? And I didn't really think much of it. So I went home after the appointment and I didn't do much research. I did look up the board and I found out it was a circumstraint, and I was a little mortified at the fact that they basically undress your baby, uncover his penis, and then he's strapped down. So I didn't really do any more research. I didn't really want to find anything else out. But the more that I found out and the more that I researched it, the more disgusting the practice became to me. And I honestly couldn't believe that people actually want to cut off a part of their baby's penis. Like, what in the world is that? And the more that I think about it every day, the more insane that it sounds. They're like, it's healthy. It's totally good for the penis. Boys don't know how to wash themselves. Pretty sure that's what they have motherfucking parents for. I mean, it's not that difficult. I'm pretty sure it's not that difficult. I have 2 boys and they're both intact and nothing about their penis is like a puzzle. You wipe it from base to tip. Poop has never gotten inside of one of their foreskins. It hasn't eaten me alive yet. And believe it or not, their foreskins haven't strangled them. I know, that's totally crazy, right? But anyways, so I'm totally against circumcision. And if you come to my page and you tell me that circumcision is totally okay, it's a parent's choice, I'm gonna flat out stop you and tell you, no the fuck it's not. It is not your right to remove, well, not you personally, pay a doctor to strap your baby to a board, manipulate his penis until it becomes erect. Then once it's erect, put a clamp on his penis. Oh, I'm sorry, wait, I fast forwarded. That's not right. Shove a metal probe inside of his penis to rip away the foreskin from the glands. Cut a slit in the penis. And then once the slit is put in his penis, attach a clamp to it. Because that sounds so fun. And I mean, grown men totally can't handle the pain of circumcision, but it's totes okay to do to a baby. Because they're not going to remember it, guys. Which is not acceptable. So in layman's terms, I am totally against circumcision. And anybody who wants to tell me that it's acceptable to do to your infant, I'm definitely not going to agree with you. I'm not going to coddle you, and I'm not going to tell you it's okay. But if you are a regret parent, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. I'm sorry that you didn't learn in time that it was harmful to your child. I'm sorry that the community of doctors and nurses lied to you. I'm sorry that your family or whoever it was wanted to make you feel so terrible about your baby being normal that they wanted you to slice off a part of his dick. I'm sorry, and I don't want anyone to ever live with that regret, and I feel bad for you guys if you have to live with that, but just know better, do better, and always check out yourwholebaby.org. They're amazing, and leave any of your questions in the comments section. Thanks, bye.